Salutations! Welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I'm doing the Taylor Swift book tag. I was not tagged. Everyone else has done it in the world, basically, and I just wanted to do it myself. I'm new to BookTube, and why not?
I remember when we broke up, the first time seeing this is it, I've had enough, cause like we hadn't seen each other in a month, when you said you needed space. What?
Pick a book series that you were pretty sure you were in love with, but then wanted to break up with. The series I chose for this question is the Proxy duology by Alex London. And oh my goodness, I want to break up so bad. I read Proxy when it first came out in 2013. It was with the old cover, and it's a wonderful series pitched as the whipping boy in a dystopian world, and it was amazing. I loved it. There were two male protagonists, Sid and Knox, and their chemistry together, both non-romantic and otherwise, was extremely interesting to see, and the relationship between sort of master and slave. But when the sequel came out, Guardian by Alex London, first of all, it had a huge cover change. I hate the cover change, just to be honest. And even though I read it in one day, I was on a time crunch, and if I hadn't, it would have been a book that I dragged out for an entire month. Some of my friends who were really big fans of the series enjoyed Guardian, even though it was really different. But personally, it went on a completely different tangent than Proxy. Even though it was a sequel and was in sequential order, I almost think it could be considered as a companion novel. They were so opposite, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars.
Losing him was blue like I never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone. Remembering him is like trying to know somebody you never met. But loving him was red.
The book I chose was Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. As you can see, it is entirely red. Personally, I don't know why the cover is actually red. Like red for love, hate, intense emotions like Taylor Swift's song Red, but besides that, I really don't know why the Tricks is red. If you haven't read an Ellen Hopkins book before, you might not know that these books are in free verse. This particular book is about 5 protagonists that get stuck in the world of human trafficking. This topic is a taboo and negative topic, but Ellen Hopkins approached it and executed it in a really interesting way that, in my opinion, wasn't offensive to anyone who sadly may have been trafficked.
I'm 5 years old, it's getting cold outside. Got my big coat on.
I honestly don't know the lyrics to this song. Pick a book that you feel nostalgia of. Now this book, I still remember reading it in 3rd grade. I marathoned the entire series within about a month. But this series is The Shadow Children by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and I still have my original beat up to death, spine just coming loose copy of Among the Hidden. It's 150 pages or less, and it was just this classic of my childhood, at least, that I absolutely adored and fell in love with. It's about this futuristic society where you're only allowed to have 2 children, and the 3rd, 4th, or even 5th children are called shadow children, and they are illegal, and if you are caught by the government with them, you can die, and so definitely can that shadow child.
It's a love story, baby, just say yeah. Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting, all it's got to do is run. You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yeah.
Love story. Pick a book with forbidden love. I personally am not into paranormal romance, angsty kinds of books, but the book I chose is a kind of cliche forbidden love, and I actually hate the love, so another reason why it's forbidden by me. But that book is The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is a middle grade epic fantasy about a boy who is in this competition with 3 other boys to see who will impersonate the real king or the real prince. And the main character, Sage, kind of starts loving this servant girl named Imogen. And I'm not going to say why exactly it's forbidden, but I hate their romance. It should not exist. Imogen is a lifeless character that did not deserve to be put to the page.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now, blew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground. Ow! Ow! Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Pick a book with a bad character you couldn't help but fall in love with. What other bad character can I choose besides Warner from the Shatter Me series? When I was reading the book, I never saw him as the sly, over-controlling, obsessed, psychotic man that he and other people clearly saw him as he was. So I don't know what that tells you about myself. Maybe I like psychopaths, but he is just an amazing, swoon-worthy, protective, amazing guy that I just want to make out with. Innocent. I do not know the lyrics to this one. I could not embarrass myself. Pick a book someone ruined the ending for. The book that I'm choosing for this is actually the third book in the Shatter Me trilogy, which is Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi. And if anyone ever ruined a book for themselves, it was me. I had finished Shatter Me, Unravel Me, and the two novellas Destroy Me and Fracture Me, but I had been waiting for Ignite Me. The library wouldn't have it in for another 2 weeks or something. So what did I do? I went on the booktubes and watched every single Ignite Me book tuck I could get my hands on. And usually when I spoil a book for myself, I can still enjoy the book and love it, because sometimes if I know what's going to happen, I love it even more. I'm waiting for the tension build up. But for this one, I just was spoiled to such minuscule details and so much that I didn't enjoy the book even half as much as I wanted to, and it was so highly anticipated by myself. I am very sad for myself, and the only person I can blame is myself for spoiling the book. Everything has changed. Pick a book with a character who has had extensive character development. Air Fire by Sarah J. Maas, and the character is Selena Sardothian. And I'm not really sure who else I could have chosen for a character development question. I felt that she developed, and I grew from pretty much hated her as a character to loving her and having such a deeper respect and understanding for her and her motives and how crappy of a life she's had, basically. And in the beginning, she's kind of a whiny brat. She likes expensive clothes, she likes expensive things, and besides this assassin factor, I thought she was a total waste, like America's Singer. Until I read Air Fire, really showed me how much she had developed. There were so many things that were different about her, but they were so subtly put in such an artful manner that I hardly knew that she was being developed. But at the end of the book, I was like, oh my god, this is the definition of character development.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend, she's upset, she's going off about something that you said, but she doesn't get your humor like I do.
You belong with me. Pick a book that is your most anticipated release. And oh my god, I love this question, especially since it's the day I chose to film this video, but I finally received my most anticipated book of 2014, which is The Young Elites by Marie Lu. It is the 8th of October when I'm filming this and received it. I came from homeschool and I freaked out because The Young Elites was on my doorstep and I'm just basking in its glory. And if you have an actual finished copy, feel the texture of the cover. It's kind of matte, but it's also kind of, it's obviously shiny and raised, but the matteness is so cool. And just want to show you what it looks like naked. I love disrobing books, but it's gold. I think this will be a great series to have like naked books of. Oh my gosh, look at what BookTube has made me into. Anyways, Marie Lu is my all-time favorite, and I can't even get to how much I adore her as a person and as an author. And of course, I would anticipate her book the most out of the year.
You said forever and always.
Your favorite book couple? My favorite book couple is actually a couple that was never actually a couple. And what I mean by this is that I shipped them so hard. I shipped them so hard, and they never actually became a couple. They exchanged some kisses, and there was a lot of potential for them being a couple, but they never actually got together. And that couple is Stavros, which stands for the ship name of June Icarus and Andon Stavropoulos from the Legend trilogy. And the reason I'm holding up Prodigy is because this is the book where their relationship is the best. They've met only once before, and I just love seeing how their minor relationship develops throughout the whole book. There's some jealousy going on, there's some mixed feelings.
Come back, be here. London, break down. It's not here, it's not around. This is where the feeling sinks in, and I don't wanna miss you again. New York, a breakdown. Come back, be here.
Pick the book you would least likely lend out for fear of missing it too much. And that book is Champion by Marie Lu. 4 Marie Lu questions in a row. Someone isn't obsessed here, but the reason it is Champion that I would like to lend out is because, wait for it, my copy is signed, which of course is an automatic. Oh my gosh, yes. And also the next reason is because it is my favorite cover. So I would maybe, if I trusted and loved that person very much, lend out my copies of Prodigies or Legend. The bonus questions, which Kat from Katie Tastic originally did on her channel, are:
Drew looks at me, I fake a smile so he won't see what I want, what I need. And every time he's with me, he says he's so in love.
Okay, that's enough of that. Teardrops on My Guitar by Taylor Swift. Pick a book that made you cry a lot. I have to admit, I am a heartless, emotionless person that never cries about books. But there is a book I am anticipating crying for, and that is The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I ordered it with Daniel Leet, so it should be coming pretty soon. But the majority of people on BookTube who are in their 20s or in late teens say that they grew up with Harry Potter, and that they were reading the books as they came out, all 7 of them, saw all the movies at midnight premieres. But for me, that series for me is the Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Heroes of Olympus series. I started reading these books in 2009, 3 years after they first came out, and was with it for the releases of the Battle of the Labyrinth on, and then it's 2014 now, and the Blood of Olympus came out yesterday, and for me, that's the end of an era. It's an end of Percy Jackson. It's the end of my childhood. Percy Jackson was my Harry Potter because all the Harry Potter books were already released, at least when I read them, so there wasn't the tension. But I've waited for the Heroes of Olympus. I've waited whole years for these books to be published, and the last one came out, so I'm anticipating tears. I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. Shake it off, shake it off. And the last question is shake it off. Pick a book that you love so much you just want to shake off the haters. And for me, that book is The Ring and the Crown by Melissa De La Cruz. I know a lot of people have problems with Melissa De La Cruz and her writing. I personally didn't even like Blue Bloods myself. But the book is The Ring and the Crown, which I read in September. And it was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. But I know a lot of people didn't like it as much because they were kind of confused with the multi-point of view, which I of course loved. But I just love that so much. I love the high society and Titanic feel of it with magic, and England rules everything. So The Ring of the Crown is the book I just want to shake them haters off for. And there we have it, the Taylor Swift book tag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Keep calm and read on. Bye. Embarrass yourself singing on the internet and it might just go viral. Who would lend this out? Like, honestly. And it was an awesome... What are you doing?
Hi.
Hi, I'm filming.
I know, I'm trying not to disturb you.
You are disturbing me. I really don't care. It doesn't show. Allie, you're disrupting me.
I'll leave.
The Taylor Swift book tag was originally created by someone. I'm done.